Hello everyone, I'm here with my good friend Mark. We're coming back right now, back to Nairobi from teaching the B'nai Noach community of Kenya. There's a B'nai Noach community that started how long ago? Around 20 years ago?
Less than 20, let's say 15 odd years ago.
15 years ago, give or take. And they've been active ever since. Mark's father actually was the one who started the community back then. Now Kimani is running it, and they are living their lives as B'nai Noach. Now Ben Noach is the Jewish ideal for non-Jews, which means because we are not a Messianic religion, we are not aspiring to have everybody convert to Judaism. What we would like is everybody to be good non-Jews, good Goyim. And in that sense, the B'nai Noach community is exactly fulfilling that. There are all in all 7 commandments of the B'nai Noach, and they are basic, be a basic, decent human being. And I will attach them over here for everybody to be able to see them. But it is basic ones: believe in God, don't worship idols, don't curse God, and no killing, no stealing, adultery, and have don't eat parts of live animals, and create a justice system that applies by the Noahide rules. So Mark's going to talk with us a bit about what it means to be a Ben Noach. Mark, tell us a bit about what it is to be a Ben Noach.
All right. Being a B'nai Noach, or a Ben Noach for that matter, well, it's first of all identifying yourself with, I would call it spiritual civilization, where the basic rules of the 7 rules of Noah apply in your life. We're not exactly a religion. We're more of a movement. We're more of a thought process. And this kind of departs from the fact that everybody else is a religion to start with. This is what you believe, this is your culture, this is everything. But with B'nai Noach, it cuts across all the world, the whole world. And you can go from as basic as you want to be, all the way to as deep as you want to be. And hopefully, if you ever wish to be something else, like going to a full Orthodox conversion, this is a real good starting place, because it gives you an introduction to really the beginnings, the origins. It's the basic of how things are supposed to be: simple, civilized, organized, care about each other, think about all the good things in life, and practice it.
My feeling is there's a pretty large movement of B'nai Noach in Kenya, and a lot of it has to do with Kenya's history, due to the colonization and the fact that that Christianity was forced on them very uncomfortably, and still is. There's a lot of things in the media and the school system that is being taught over here that are just very much forcing the Christian agenda. But your father has a story about when he was growing up. He said, like, he would be, if he got a passage wrong for the New Testament, they would whip him. And other people have, if they ask questions about Christianity, they got shot or exiled and kicked out of, the community. And a lot of people, I feel like this is a big reason why a lot of people are coming towards this place of a Ben Noach, Noahites in Kenya, and I'm sure in other places of East Africa they're also looking for these kinds of answers. But you're talking about people that were connected to real idol worshipping kind of services. The belief system here was very, very pagan until Christianity came and disconnected them from your roots. And then after you're disconnected from your roots, they forced in Christianity, and after the forcing of Christianity, there's like this void of trying to like figure out, well, what do I believe? And going back to paganism has been very unnatural for a lot of people over here, and Christianity has its place that was just very uncomfortable.
Yeah, and don't forget that Christianity is very European. Is a very European culture as well. And not only is it a religion, it's also very... Majority of the culture that came with Christianity is European. And it formed the so-called civilization. But it failed to incorporate a lot of meaning in people's lives today.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? It's like a history. The way you're reading something like it happened thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. And a lot of people are having a problem. Okay, so how does that... What's the meaning for it?
How does it apply to me?
How does it apply to me? Number two is that some people are starting and without any probing, people are starting to question some of the concepts that they've been taught. The virgin birth, Father Christmas. It doesn't make sense logically when you read these stories, and as a complete adult you have to believe them simply because that's how things are supposed to be.
Right.
We have a lot of people who are coming out to question. Fine, you could tell me Christmas is all about let's sit down and have it a family day. In fact, we have people calling it a family day nowadays, no longer Christmas. And that makes sense to me. But when you tell me that there's a connection between Father Christmas and a virgin birth and the Savior of the world, it completely throws you off the map,
right,
in terms of logic and reasoning. And as such, the movement, the Bnei Noah movement, is mopping up some of these people who are ready to question and have a logical meaning to their lives, instead of just rote learning and simply moving along with what you somehow argue with yourself whether it's correct. And the other thing is that the majority of the Christian doctrine is about the belief, what you believe inside yourself. And it doesn't talk more about the practical life. How do you live day to day? How do you exactly do things? How do you do a business transaction? And that's something that, let's say, the neighboring religions to Christianity, especially in Kenya, is Islam and Hinduism.
Right.
They're very elaborate on how you do things. The Islam are very elaborate on how to do business, on how to do almost every aspect of their lives, how to pray 5 times a day, when to give charity, what to do this and that. And to be honest, there are fewer dishonest Muslim businessmen than you would probably find on the other side, on any other side. And therefore, people usually just abandon Christianity at some point. As soon as you're out of school environment or you out of church, you've gotten married, you're out of it, and you're probably just going to come back to it because, okay, I need my kids to go somewhere. I don't want my kids hovering around. I'm not sure whether they're
so let's go with this. So a lot of people, I'm assuming, are going to be curious. If you're leaving Christianity and you're going with this Jewish ideal, why not convert to Judaism?
Yeah, and the answer to that is actually a bit interesting. Is that Noahidism is older than Judaism. Okay, so and in a way, the earlier people in the Bible, in the Torah, were Noahides. Noah himself, Noah wasn't Jewish, was he?
Yeah.
Abraham wasn't Jewish. Okay, he was the father. He is the father of Jews, yes, but himself, when he was born, he wasn't Jewish. And he had to transform his way. And in a way, these are the same journeys we are walking today. Because there are no two truths.
Right.
The truth is one. So, no matter what you want to call it, the path out of that truth is there. And it's always been there. You can masquerade it and hide it under various different names and all that. And I have a feeling that the world will become more peaceful when more people agree on the real truth than anything else.
I think there's like something very much to that, of like understanding that one of the basic fundamental aspects in being a Ben Noach is we're all believing in one God, and like when we have that as a concept, is we all believe in one God, and we're all as children, we each have a different role to play, just like any of all of your children, right? Each one of them is very, very different in their personalities and have different. You have different expectations from them and different things that you want from them. but one isn't better than the other, right? And like, even if one is going to be the one that's leading the other two, right? It's not that they are
lesser.
That they're lesser. They just have different roles to play.
Exactly. And this is where now we have to own up to liberation.
Yeah.
Liberation is not going against authority or going against what is known. It's simply understanding it better, okay? And what you understand better now is that there's exactly no hierarchy when it comes to you and your creator, okay?
Yeah.
We're all here. And therefore, it's not my way or the highway, okay? It's one way.
It's one way.
It's one way. And let's find this one way. And the name Noah movement is definitely, we're heading there, because yes, we walk very closely with the Jews, because the Judaism has been the custodian of Noahidism for so long.
Yeah.
And yes, we appreciate there's a time the Jews were not in their place. They didn't have the strength to teach. I mean, when you're teaching someone, you've got to have some authority over them. And
right.
for a long time, the Jews didn't have that authority. But, well, thank God that now the Jews have that authority. They have the authority now to tell people, listen, this has always been there for you. We've kept it for you. Take it. Own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very powerful. The community today has... today we had around 40 people. Oh, more than that. More joined towards the end. We had like 40 people that were sitting in, and that was just a percentage of the community, because just geographically people live a bit further away, so some people were able to join and some people weren't. But the community keeps on growing with this ideal, which is amazing, and God willing, we'll keep on growing. Do you have any things that you would, like, last words you wanted to say, like, to anyone who's considering and trying to, like, find their path?
Yeah, and the truth is that you listen enough, you're attentive enough, you're going to hear the message from the universe, which is the message from God. And if you find yourself lost, you're in the right place, because you're going to find where you're going.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.